So natural. Sorry, having trouble with my jazz hands. So I'm here at Kennesaw State University doing some AP economics training. And today is July 11th, which means that everybody who's taken the AP exam has received their scores by now. And it could be that you're pleased with your score, or some of you are disappointed or downright angry at what you got. This video is for the second group. If you wanted a 5 and you worked hard for a 5 and you got a 5, then congratulations. One day you'll join the ranks of the other 5ers and you'll become our overlords. But for all of you who worked really hard and felt like the effort that you put forward was not represented in that little number that the College Board gave you, this video is for you. Now, especially if you got a 1 or a 2 or a 0, I'm sure if that happened, you're very disappointed. Maybe there's a whole range of excuses. You got sick that day, or your teacher didn't prepare you well enough, but all of that is something separate. I've just got one piece of encouragement for everybody who feels disappointed by their scores and therefore disappointed with themselves, and it is this: so what? Now, I know that sounds a little rough, so let me try to explain. First of all, life is pretty disappointing sometimes. This life, if you live it long enough, is going to break your heart. And I think the sooner we learn that, the better. Second of all, the score that you made on this test in the long run doesn't even matter. I don't remember a single grade that I received in high school. Second of all, in the long run, this score doesn't even matter. I mean, I know it matters in the short run to you, but in the long run, I mean, I can't even remember a single grade I got in high school. I can't even remember what I got on my SATs. I think it was like 7,000 or something. Is that a real score? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know what I do remember about high school? I remember the plays that I acted in theater. I remember my friends. I remember road trips. I remember the things that we did together. And I know that you're disappointed, but honestly, it really doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is your people. It's the way you spend your days. And you know what? Come to think of it, I do remember one grade I got in school. So it was my first class in graduate school, and I should go back and set this up. All throughout school, I was always a good writer. I could put words together decently well and make things sound good and pleasing. And I kind of coasted through middle school and high school and even college on my talent. I just made things sound nice. And I kept doing that as soon as I went to graduate school. And the first paper I turned in graduate school, I remember getting it back clear as day. The teacher gave it to me. I saw on top of the paper this red circle, and within that circle there was a red number, and that number said 32. It was a 32%. And then I further noticed the commentary, lawnmowers. Then I further noticed all the commentary on the paper, all the scratches and the writing in the margins, and I could not believe it. I had always leaned on my talent in place of hard work, and here this professor saw it and failed me. Okay, so change clothes. It's the next day. Anyway, as I was saying, the end of that story isn't that I went to the professor and begged to have them change my grade or let me redo the paper so that I could do better on it. I didn't want a better grade. I wanted that grade because that grade changed me. From that day on, I started striving to work my hardest to try to reason clearly in my writing and not just produce sleight of hand or fireworks. So it was actually one of my worst grades that ended up meaning the most to me. But the thing is, it took me like 15 years of hindsight to be able to say that. And if somebody had come up to me during that day and was like, yeah, you got this bad grade on your test, you actually failed this paper, so what? I would have thought they were heartless and callous. And maybe that's how you feel about what I'm saying right now, and I don't mean to be dismissive or mean, but I do know that it's going to be okay. You are going to be fine. And someone might object and say, hey, how can you say that it doesn't matter? Because now that I got this grade, I won't be able to get into the college that I wanted to go to. Okay, see, previous point about life being full of disappointment. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but life does not work this way, that we sort of start in the dark wood of error and we walk in a straight line all the way into the city of celestial contentment and happiness. That is not how life works, at least not for anybody I've ever met. It's more like a series of wrong turns and getting stuck in briar patches and all cut up and bloodied, and eventually you do move forward, but it's certainly not in a straight line. Anyway, I hope that helped soothe some of your disappointment. Try it again next year, see what happens. Alright, see you guys later. And now watch as Heimler recedes gently into the background, giving the impression that he merely found a camera sitting here, he bent down to talk to you, and now is going about his day. So natural. Alright, thanks for tuning in for your daily dose of depressing wisdom with Heimler. If you're really depressed now and you feel like binge watching videos, then YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right over here. And it's been scientifically proven that just smiling is helpful in combating depression. And the YouTube equivalent of smiling is hitting that like button down below. Go ahead, hit it. You'll feel better. And if that doesn't make you feel better, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. And I'll do my best to help you get a 5 on next year's exam. See you next time.